This morning we have a little over $200,000 in stimulus money that was secured as a result of a grant from the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services. Mr. Sean Rowley, liaison, law enforcement liaison to OCJS, is here this morning if anybody would want to talk to him at some point. But what was important to us is that while a lot of the grants out there are available for hardware and equipment and cars and things of that nature, this was very important to us because we were allowed to apply to get staffing funds, or in other words, to maintain staffing within our task force. The Office of Criminal Justice Services and the Director Carl Moore encouraged me to apply for this money and felt that it was an appropriate use in order to pass this money on to our member agencies so that they could maintain their presence at the task force. Again, the most important resource we have is personnel and investigators who work for us. You can have all the equipment, all the technology in the world, but if you don't have somebody out there operating it, it's pretty useless. And in this case, we were very fortunate. We got one of the larger awards throughout the state. And in the case of the Sheriff's Department, what we found was that we had 2 deputies that had to be returned to other law enforcement duties last year. As a result, at the end of this year, and again, having been there since 2006, I knew what our numbers and our performance were over the years. We experienced about a 30% drop in our performance for 2009, and I attribute that directly to the loss of the deputies who worked as investigators for us. We're hoping that those numbers return, and with the first quarter this year, it would appear that they are on track for a better performance this year. But in that regard, and since they actually had layoffs in the Sheriff's Department, I was able to apply for money and get funding for 2 deputies positions for the 17-month grant period, beginning August 1st of 2009 and continuing to December 31st of this year. The Sheriff has assured me that we'll be able to maintain the presence of the deputies there, and they'll be engaged in a law enforcement effort, besides the other problems that he's obviously having with funding in his department. The Youngstown Police Department was facing potential layoffs. The mayor was very supportive. He actually has been supportive of the task force throughout, making trips to Columbus with me to testify before the legislature to support the grant funding in other areas that we've had in order to keep the task force operating. In this case, since the police department didn't actually lay off, and I have had a number of conversations with Chief Hughes about his check being smaller, we were not able to get quite as much funding, but as you can see, it is a significant number, and I do have a paycheck, so the next time he asks me where have I done for it recently, he'll have a reminder. In any event, we were very happy to get these awards, and it pleases me to be able to give some money back to the agency to provide personnel for the task